Hello everyone. Today is September 27. Welcome to SIG Node CI meeting. Uh, Going on to the agenda. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So Kevin has put an agenda. It looks like there was a large refactor of the node jobs to drop bootstrap.py. I would suggest we look at the if there are any failures related to this. So I looked at this particular comment and also the comment here. So apparently Dims has already put up a summary here that most of the failures are unrelated, but we still want to look at test grid, right?
Yeah, I think
Kevin, yeah,
my
go
point
ahead.
of the agenda was mostly just to maybe like prioritize looking over the all the tests in test grid and just making sure that there's not any new failures. Just because all the jobs were converted, and uh, I think that they're all converted to use the new decorate, and I think most of them are working now, but I didn't know if I was looking, I didn't see any that I think are caused by that, but there's a lot of tests. So that was mainly my point for the agenda.
Okay, sure. So we can start with Signode.
Before we go forward, Kevin, can you just give everybody an overview of what we did with Bootstrap Pi and what to look for, just for recording and for everybody awareness?
Yeah, I can go ahead and share like some, wait, no, I can, Sergey, can you let me share?
Yeah, co-host now.
Okay. So basically, I guess there's been a long running work done to try and deprecate this bootstrap.py script from, I guess, from SIG testing. And I don't, it sounds like a lot of the SIG node included, have not really converted a lot of those over. And so I think Dims, I don't know his full name, he converted all of the, I think, jobs over like last week. So now pretty much everything should be using decorate true, and then using no longer using the bootstrap script. So what that looks like is can you all so can you all see my screen?
Yes.
So what that looks like now is that there's this decorate true, a config, and then usually there's some kind of command, a runner, because they deprecate essentially the bootstrap.py, I think, was an entry point. It was relying on, I guess it was running an entry point in all the containers. So you have to add a command, and then usually the args didn't change, which I didn't know about. But this was kind of the conversion. And we had I think one issue I know related to that, which was, let's see, I think, what was this one? 1.25. So you can see here on the 25th, what it looked like was, I don't know all the ways these can fail, but like this job just started failing out of nowhere. You can click on it, and then I saw something like a init container. This thing was not ready, and then luckily, the issue with this one was actually a typo. If you look at the build logs, it wasn't actually cloning the repo for to actually run this test. So that was actually fixed, and that's why this one is working now. And then I didn't see any others. And then yeah, so that was at least like some of the examples. But yeah, so like that's at least kind of what is going on with some of those. Sorry, too many things. And yeah, so I guess I wasn't too sure which ones are, like, which tests are actually failing or not. I've been just kind of looking at the test grid lately, trying to find some examples, but I think a lot of them are looking pretty good, but I have noticed there's some I did some conversion of the pre-submits from there was a lot of periodics that did not have a corresponding way to run them as off of a PR. So I did a lot of I copied a lot of these to the pre-submits, and I've been trying to test these to get some of these to actually work. So if we want to test flaky jobs, we can test them on the PR rather than just waiting in the periodics. So I've been looking into some of those. I don't know if I think that's at least on my end, but if there's any ones to check, like I've just been looking at the test grid trying to find ones that look like they were failing out of nowhere. I didn't see any, especially in the release blocking. I didn't think there's only this one here, but this looks to be running all the tests. So sorry, in short, I think mostly looking for tests that are failing like outright usually can mean something's wrong with the setup, uh, and that's at least what I've been trying to look for. And then tests that just started failing out of nowhere, and I do think what Dim's pointed out, I think most of them are existing. Oh, I know that I was looking at the Fedora swap ones, and I think we actually have a PR to fix those, but that's unrelated to this. I'll stop sharing now.
Okay. Yes, sounds good. Thanks for the summary. And I think we can just walk over all the failures and see if any of those are related. So I have opened the test grid. Moving on to SIG release blocking, I saw one failure here, and this says I think the path is wrong somewhere. Let's wait for this to open. Log. No, this is another failure. Did I open the right one? This does look like this has been failing for a while. So did we create an issue last time? I think this has some connection related issues.
That's one thing I noticed. I don't know if that's an existing problem, but the failed to run SSH command, I don't think that is actually the error.
Yeah, I think it's intermittent error in the beginning. So while nodes being created, it keeps retrying to SSH, and eventually it will succeed. So I
Oh,
think it's mistakenly being highlighted in the summary.
okay. So is there a different error then here? Because
Yeah,
I
the only
do.
error is this failing test. So you probably need to click on specific test that failed and see what's going on. And I think it was failing for a while now. We've been debating whether we need to increase the threshold, but we didn't want to do it without investigation. I
Okay.
remember Mike wanted to create issue last time. Mike, did you end up creating it or?
I created an issue. I created an issue for what? I think it was for Serial. Yeah. Wait, no, it was another failure. But then I tried to go into the test log and I couldn't find any logs like anymore. So it was really hard to debug any further. But it wasn't that test. It was another one.
Okay, so maybe we can create an issue for this one.
Can I ask one? So I see the 2 out of 3. Is it flagging as failed if there's one of them that fails? Because that, like reading this, it was kind of confusing to me, like what this test is saying. Like I
So
see it. Sorry, go on.
a purple cell means that you trigger a test that runs 3 times and only one of them passed. So it's more like a flake. Some of the tests we need to run them multiple times to ensure consistency.
Okay. So is this the test that's failing? The one that I've opened? Like, if I were to look at this dashboard, I think the overall summary is a little bit confusing. So should I click on this one? Node.test? Sorry, node test.
So
Yeah,
as long as you click on any cell on the column, it should take you to the same run.
This took me to a different one, right? It clearly says two tests failed, and then it also has the test name.
And which one did you click on?
I clicked on this cube test.node test, and then
Okay.
it takes me to specific two tests that have failed.
So there
And
was one test that failed. Yeah, it's only that one.
yeah, looks like it's
yeah. I haven't seen this failing. I don't remember this failing. I remember this grid always has this like 10 pods creation. Latency of this but 10 pods creation was lagging.
I see. Yeah, it's I think it's all different tests that are failing at different times. Like if I try to, yeah, looks like now a different test is failing. Do we want to triage this right now, or Mike, are you gonna create an issue for this one?
I guess I can create an issue while you're doing this. Uh, this is a kubelet serial container. Okay, let me get into that and I'll make an issue.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, maybe search for existing issues just in case. But yeah.
Yeah, let me search and if I cannot find it, I'll create one.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I don't see any other failures in this tab. For kubelet, I do see. Is this a new test? Yeah, because it doesn't go back beyond 912. So this looks like,
I think Swati was working on those.
On this, I think I've hit a wall on this. The last change we tried to do was to increase the timeout, but even with the increased timeout, it still fails. So I think this just needs further investigation why exactly this test is failing. So the issue got closed because the PR was merged, but I reopened the issue just to have that tracked.
okay, thanks, Swati. So, do we need more eyes on this?
Yeah, I think at this point, I don't have a potential way of solving this, but if people want to look at that and they have ideas, I think that's more than welcome.
So what's the latest on that? Is it using multi-node VM now?
Yeah, I think it is using multi-noma VM, but this particular test, which is testing for metrics, and this particular failure is related to keeping track of metrics when topology manager fails a pod with admission failure. So we are trying to track after kubelet restart, and the expectation is that we would be able to keep account of the admission failure. But it seems here it's complaining that the admission failure count should have been 0, whereas we legitimately see a pod failing at admission time. The interesting thing is that when I tested this locally on my environment, I have got a successful run 100% of the time. So I wasn't actually able to reproduce this issue, which is making it a bit difficult for me to figure out the problem here.
The reason I'm asking if it's a multi-node environment, I see most of the tests being skipped, and I think all the skips in a test environment is for non-multi-node VMs. Is it the case?
Could be. I need to look at that. I believe the idea was for topology manager to actually run on multi-noma environments. And previously, when we have tests where if multi-noma environment is not there, then the tests are skipped. But my understanding is now we have multi-noma enabled in our test infrastructure, so those tests should be running. So we can definitely look into why those tests are getting skipped. If multi-noma is the issue or it's something else.
Do you remember we changed the image config to use like smaller VMs just to test if it's a root
Yeah,
cause of
we
the
did. Yeah, I remember that. I was the one who had proposed that, but later we reverted that back to refer to VMs that are multi-NUMA.
Can you look into that? Like whether it's why it's
Yeah,
keeping?
yeah,
Thank you.
sure, I can.
Thank you very much.
And maybe we could also add the issue to notes and see if we can get more people to look at it so that if you get stuck.
Sure, I will. Yeah, thanks.
Moving on to this one. Are these also new failures?
These are not new. I think they've been going on for a while, but there is a PR up to fix them, and the person is very active on it. I'll link to that. I think we are aware of these issues. Sorry, I'm just getting the PR that should fix them. Apparently, it's I think related to some feature toggles being disabled or enabled or something like that.
Okay.
So this is the PR. Excuse me. This is a PR that is up to fix them, and I see that there's reviews as of 2 days ago. So
Mhm.
it's hoping that once this gets merged, this should resolve a lot of these issues.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for adding to the notes as well. So we can keep an eye on this one and see if it's still failing in the next meeting then. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, and then I think that I didn't look into why one of the swaps was not failing and others was not, but I think the swap Fedora serial and the Ubuntu serial ones are all failing. Oh wait, no, this is that looks more concerning.
I think one of the tests that's failing, that's on me, I think, this one. I haven't gotten a chance to look at it. I'll prioritize this one for this week.
Got it. Okay.
But I'm not sure. I do see graceful node shutdown failures as well.
Yeah, this one is concerning. Can you click on that swap Fedora and then actually see what this is saying?
The overall,
Yeah. Because it looks like it's not running any of the tests.
yeah. Yeah, it's not running any of the tests. Do we have an issue for this one? But this looks different than this, right? At least this one is running the test and then there are failures for which there is a PR, right? But this looks different to me. So do we want to create an issue for this?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Create an issue for.
Wonder if some of those have. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, I wonder if some of those have are due to Kevin's sort of the rework that he did. That looks like the provisioning SSH error.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm wondering about. But I thought I reverted all those. So I mean, there's, I guess, Sarah, I guess for this group, it should be well aware. We ran into some problems with there's another push in SIG testing to try and migrate a lot of our jobs to, I guess, the community prow cluster. So that you can do that by adding the cluster name. I forgot what it is, the name of it. We ran into some problems with cryo periodics trying to navigate that. Most of the docs say you should just be able to add the cluster name and some resources, and it should work. For cryo, I have noticed some problems with the periodics. and we had to revert that change. I will look into the swap Fedora ones because that's another one where if that is occurring, it's kind of a weird one where the SSH stuff actually doesn't succeed, and then the job completely the job will time out essentially. And I think that looks to be pretty close to this one. I don't remember changing that one though. I'll look into that. I'll
Okay.
file a ticket for this one.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin. So, like I mentioned, this one has a test failure. That's something I need to look into. I'll do that this week. And then moving on, this has mostly EKS related stuff. And again, graceful nodes shutdown. Let me quickly take a look at this. This was also failing last time, I believe. So do we have? Let me see. What are the tests that are failing? These are the same tests that were failing in another tab.
But I think there's already an issue for the graceful node shutdown based on pod priority. Let me try to find it. I
Okay.
just saw it a bit ago. I think Paco reported it. I don't know if he's working on it.
Okay. Could you quickly just add a link in the notes?
Mhm.
I'll clean it up later.
Yeah, sure. I just had to chat, but let me add the notes.
Sure. And then this one. What tab was that again? C group V2 container dnode E2E. This is also not running any tests. Is anyone aware of the issue here?
So no tests at all?
Uh, for this tab,
Okay.
C V2, and again, this doesn't seem to be running any of the tests, and I think it's failing in the node test step.
But I see like other runs also, at least from the previous runs, they were entirely green, but they also don't display
Yeah,
any tests.
starting.
So
Yeah, 922. I think I would think this is a good option. If I don't have the doc up, can we add that to the notes? Or I'll get the doc up and then I'll add that one. But yeah, I would. That's another one I think we want to be on the lookout for the migration because that seems to be a candidate for some problems.
Okay,
I think 922 was around that time.
okay, sounds
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
some configuration parameters are incorrect based on error description, so
Mm-hmm.
migration problem.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, for C2 container D node E2E serial. These are again graceful node shutdown related failures, I believe. Am I right?
Yeah, somehow it started failing. I don't remember it being failing so much.
Yeah, this has been failing again for a while now. So I'll just check whether this is the one related to what Mike mentioned. One Paco filed a request for. Okay. And then EC2, node kubelet container eviction. Are we aware of this one? This also has been failing for a while, on and off. Like it did pass sometimes.
This is one of our, I think, most egregious failures, but I think the eviction ones have been failing for a while. I am actually looking into those. I am a little stuck on really why they're failing. I think there's some flakiness with a lot of these. They're not consistent on the failures. but I am actually looking into some of those right now.
Okay. And is there an issue corresponding to these failures?
There is an issue for eviction. Well, I don't know. Do we want to track individual tests? There's a lot of issues. I think around the. I think some people have reported like uh, test failures generally. I don't know if I know. I think for eviction there might be one, but I also know there is like an overall one that kind of summarizes a lot of them.
Okay,
There
maybe.
is a disk pressure for sure. I don't. I can dig it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this one from ouch, from 2021 that I assigned myself to. So it's this exact one. So I'll add to the notes.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Moving on to cryo. This is again related to eviction. So I'll quickly skim over it. What about this one? Node kubelet. This has also been failing for a while.
Yeah, I'm a little confused at why like all this green. I don't know if this means that these jobs are actually timing out and the rest of them are not running. Because I'm noticing that a bit for some of the cryo jobs.
Are these are these timing out during shutdown, or is it a different error? Says node did not become shut down as expected. Cluster config. Is anyone aware of this issue? Or if anyone is looking at it?
Uh, has it been failing like this for a while now?
Yeah, this has been failing for a while now. Like if you look at it, yeah, it has been failing for a lot while now. Okay, I'll add it to the notes so that I go ahead and create an issue, and then we can take it up on the basis of comments or details there. I mean, that's all from the script perspective. Do we want to do bug triage now, Sergey, because we are already 36 minutes into the meeting? Or should I go over the test dashboard?
Let's look at test dashboard really quickly.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
Sync node serial tests on ARM64 with periodic job. Add back some skip tests on ARM64 as it no longer fails. We saw some flaky slow tests. Okay. So this is being investigated, I believe.
yeah, maybe move it to waiting for author.
Um, Waiting for author. Okay, sounds good. E2E set liveness probe timeout seconds for conformance test. This is a bug according to the issue. Call healthy to a pod with reused IP needs few seconds, which may cause E2E test to fail. For default probe, okay, in my environment this. Sergey, you have a comment here. Do you know what this requires? This is, let's close this PR and create a proper cherry pick PR when this is merged. So
Yeah,
this
let's just close it. Can you just slash close?
close.
Yeah, just because the person migrated directly, like send the PR directly to previous release branch, and you need to do
Oh,
master first and then automated cherry pick.
okay, sounds good. Um, Fix device plugin probe node E2E pod and kubelet restart. What type of? It's a flake. Device plugin pro V2E node test cases fail sometimes. Okay, let me see. This is the same person adding the flow, triage accepted, priority. So I think this is also waiting on author since Swati left a comment here. Correct?
Yeah, sounds good.
Moving on to E2E DRA enhanced test driver. This is cleanup. Let me see. This is required for autoscaler work, which is critical for DRA beta in 129.
And it's already approved, so it LGTM.
Okay.
Is
So
anyone interested to take a look? You can just assign to me. I'll take a look.
okay.
Thank you.
We want to change the status here.
Yeah, move to need review. Yeah, thank you.
Sounds good. Make pod resources API include restartable init containers. This is kind feature that says
Yeah, just remove it from this board. Or move to archive. Yeah, archive it. Otherwise, it will pop up again.
that's it, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Dynamic resource allocation, fix compatibility with 127, kind bug, kind failing test. Okay. Is this for the test then? Kubernetes 128 introduced this. Therefore, adding back support for 127 is worthwhile and reasonable. Okay.
Yeah,
And
I think it will be a product code to fix compatibility with 127. I would suggest to move it to archive it.
yeah, so this would be in the core code, right, and not test related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though test is failing.
We already took a look at this one.
Yes, you typed close, I think.
So I need to explicitly archive it then.
Uh, oh no, wait, is it different one?
It's timing out for conformance tests, failing tests.
Oh, it's the person reopened the same PR in the master, I think.
I see. Okay.
Mhm.
So do we need to do anything? The Kubernetes end-to-end test will suffer because of it. Changing 1 second to 5 second will not change the semantics of the test case.
Yeah, we will need to have a reviewer for that.
Okay.
It seems that they increase the timeout because of some environments CNI installation takes longer.
I see. So needs reviewer.
Yeah. Anybody interested? Okay.
All right then. Yeah, I'm done with the test triage. Over to you, Mike.
1 second. Okay, this is the signal box. We have 13 in the queue. Hopefully we can go through all of them. Memory manager, unexpected admission error. They provide us the setup. They're using the Polynomial manager policy best effort. No. I don't have enough context on the Polynomial manager and Numa, but everything seems to be. It seems that they provided enough details to reproduce.
Can you scroll down?
Mhm.
I think Francesca said that he'll be looking into that.
Okay.
I think all the way down. I think maybe.
kubectl describe now, that makes sense. No reproduction. Okay. So looks like Francesca's already working on this. We can move from triage to accepted. Let's see.
Yeah. Thank you.
Triage.
And type triage accepted. Yeah.
Then, are we using anything else? A kind or probably priority?
Priority would be nice.
We'll leave a long term.
I think it's fair.
Okay. Moving on. Kubernetes lookup node address logic for external provider, assigning wrong pod IPs to host network pods. This has quite a history. So the last status was this person added some context. So it looks like this is already being worked on. I guess there's some PRs on that. So I guess this is also triaged. Yeah, it looks like someone's working on this already. Okay, moving to the next one. In place VPA, wrong CRI updates after lack of resource limits.
Created 2 weeks ago. We should have seen it already. Yeah, triage accepted. We just.
We just need to move it from there. Okay. Let's see. Garbage collector. I remember we saw this one as well. Garbage
Yeah, I think
collector for
we
continuing.
moved it from needs information to triage just to make sure we looked at it this week.
Okay. Let's see. Sharing a layer apart from the Ubuntu one. Okay, so I guess they're still trying to reproduce this. Do we want to keep it on their needs information as well? Because they're still trying to reproduce this, and it seems like there's an issue with a particular.
Yeah, they're still trying to reproduce, so we still need to have the needs information. It's already marked as needs information. Yeah.
Okay, then I just move it there. There we go. Oh, it's missing. Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Kind of strange we have both of them. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter much. Okay. CryCTL shows the compress size and is inconsistent with Docker images. It's probably a feature request.
Yeah, we looked at it last time as well. What was the decision?
I think we just missed an. Was it accepted?
Oh, we should have removed kind bug, right?
That's right. Let me.
And you can reply to the MF1 seal that, yeah, if he can send a PR, it'll be appreciated.
Well, I don't know if I can review that. Okay, critical node reboot could lead to, I think no, this is a different one. Critical node reboot could lead to data loss due to broken volume lifecycle management. Okay, it looks like they're still trying to figure out what's the actual issue. Yeah, that makes sense to keep it under different issues.
Can you be more specific? Please open instead of let's open. Otherwise, they may think that you will open it.
You're right. I guess I don't want to close this until we have the new issues. I'll just
Why
mark
would
as
you
accepted.
triage accepted? Is it something we want to fix?
Well, it's just not it's in storage. Well, I don't know if it's in storage or
Yeah, let them triage it if it's fixed.
it kinda looks like, yeah, this doesn't look like node.
Yeah, remove SIG node and let's remove it from us.
Oh, there's no archive.
Yeah, there is no archive. You need to
Okay.
go into bug and like remove it from the dashboard.
Let me remove it once. Okay. Moving to the next one. Sidecar startup probe on 128. So trace between init container and start probe. Testing scheduling. Well, that's a lot of things. Okay, so it's under node now.
Yeah. So what they complain about?
They said that apparently there's a race.
Wow,
A
interesting.
container. You have an init container with a startup probe.
Yeah, it seems that to have enough information. So let's triage
Okay.
accept. Can you assign me?
Sure. Okay, moving on. Kubelet one started. Failure to update stats for container slash open that. Okay.
There's another issue I think in this one that I think there's a couple and they're saying that pointing to a different one in this list, so I don't know if we should close this one. Or leave it open in the case of someone searching for this one. But I do think that the other issue it mentions some kernel, a bad patch in the kernel.
Yeah, that does seem different from this.
Well, the kernel issue was related to that kmem limit in bytes, I think. And I think all that's kind of caused by this.
Doesn't mention anything on the kernel here. 654.
Yeah.
6155. Okay.
Also, the reporter or one of the people who was seeing it said they just rolled back their kernel and everything works fine. So this definitely seems like that kernel patch.
So yeah, maybe we should close it as duplicate of the other one.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That is what the same one. Okay. No execute tank is added with extra 5 seconds delay when a node ready condition becomes unknown. Uh, no version provided. Okay, this person is already working on it, I guess. So yeah, this person is already working on it. I guess we can leave it as now. Not for now. We're just gonna accept it. Kubelet breaks with cgroups v1 and newer Linux dropping KMM limiting bytes. Okay, that the reproduction seems straightforward. This is 128. Also the change. Okay, it's same issue.
Well, I think you closed 120813. So should we leave this one open?
Okay.
I don't really know what the protocol is for a bad kernel. Like in this case, like I don't know. I don't think there's anything we can fix on our end.
Yeah, you mentioned like this comment.
Oh, you're right, right. The other one closes this. I'm bad. My bad. I thought the closest of them. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
I think triage accept and mark is priority important soon. And I'm not sure how long in the past we need to cherry pick this.
But this is an issue with the OS rather than kubelet. So
I mean, there's a kubelet breaks on newer OS. So the question is, I wonder if we maybe core, like, do you know if cores will migrate to 6.1 kernel at any moment?
not that I'm aware of. I think we're still running on 5.
Yeah. So out
And
of all OS versions we test, I'm not sure if we have any that already migrated to 6 kernel.
I mean, if we had any with 6, we will notice errors in the test right now, right? If we were using cgroup v1 and a 6.1.15. So, but yeah, I guess if something comes up, we can use this for. This could be a good pointer for that. Let's see, default RBAC role admin does not allow for ephemeral container usage. No, this looks like a feature request rather than a bug. Also, I don't think this is related to Node. This looks more like
I mean, it's about ephemeral containers, and we own this feature.
okay.
So this connection is for sure, but I'm not sure how. Yeah, if any changes will be needed from our side.
But yeah, but I just it doesn't look like a bug. It's just like feature request,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
If we're
Next one.
out of time, we wouldn't be able to finish this.
Oh,
I
that's
think.
true. That's fine. Yeah, we have 3 more. I can triage on my own outside of the meeting. It's only 3 more remaining anyway.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Have a good day.
Bye bye.